I've been following this whole discourse around Australian festivals after Splendour was cancelled, and
anyway, so that video is Ben Lee, who is one of Australia's music artists. He's really great. So if you guys haven't already, go check him out. But it's very interesting. So there is a discourse about Australian music festivals, and I guess in the last couple of months, oh, you're done. In the last couple of months, a lot of them have cancelled, and it's only April. Well, not even the end of April. Anyway, so Ben Lee mentioned that logistically and a few other things, financially, it may not be easy for a lot of bands to get to Australia. Realistically, depending which country they come from, it can take upwards of 20 hours and 2 plane trips. And then are we going? Okay. Damn it.
It has to be linked into
Anyway, so what I was saying is that, you know, upwards 20 hours, 2 planes, depending which country you're coming from. Then you also got to bring in your band. You also got to bring in your security, your roadies. You've got to pay for the equipment that you're using. And if you're someone like, I guess, Alice Cooper, who has theatrics, you know, the guillotine, the hangs, the Frankenstein, you're going to have to pay for all that as well. So logistically and financially, yeah, it's an insane price to deal with. But you can also notice the other side of it. Now, I'm someone who works for music festivals. One of the companies that I work for hosts a lot of music festivals. You know, we've got Knotfest, Laneway, Wild Things, Good Things. Knotfest, Laneway, Good Things, R&B Fridays, Wildlands. I think there's another one in there somewhere too. Which are great festivals, but they are also very niche because R&B Fridays for R&B artists. Knotfest is your heavy metal / metal bands. You've got Wildlands, which was, I actually don't know who that artist was, but he was like a techno DJ sort of person. And then you've got the Good Things and Laneway. So they've got their niche, which also works. Now, I've been working music festivals for a little over a year now, and the one thing that I've noticed is that the crowds are different each time. The supervisors also come in and go, okay, well, with this crowd, we know what we're getting. But unlike last year, these crowd numbers are XYZ amount. Last year was probably 52,000. This year it's only 10,000. So it also depends on the artist. If the artist's good names for those festivals aren't coming, then no one wants to buy it. Take Pandemonium, for example. Pandemonium is a perfect example for this. I really want to go to those guys, right? They announced that they had Wolfmother, Blondie, Deep Purple, Alice Cooper. I was like, fuck yes, I'm going. It's down the Gold Coast. I will buy tickets. It's great. But come Easter, they didn't know whether they're coming or going. Come Easter, there was rumors about them cancelling. Come Easter, they admitted that they changed locations. Come Easter, a lot of those bands pulled out. Then you hear that Alice Cooper and Blondie were the 2 artists having to organize this festival, which I think is a dumb thing, but I also like, why is the artist organizing the festival when it should be up to the promoter or the organizers, not the artists themselves? But like, you could also look at Youngblood, who's organizing a music festival for himself up in the UK. I don't know much about it, except it sounds really cool because Youngblood's hosting it and organizing it, and was like, I've been following his spiel, it sounds cool. But Pandemonium, they've just started their music festival. Last weekend they had one in Sydney, or was it Melbourne? They've got one this weekend at the Gold Coast. They haven't got information for it. They've got your location, they've got your tickets. But what are set times? Normally set times are released by now. Or at least for the music festivals I've worked for. Normally you kind of know what's going on, but Pandemonium did not know what they were doing until like the week of their very first festival, which I think is a dumb move. Every festival needs to know what the hell they're doing. And they also, because a lot of names dropped out, a lot of fans are going, we want refunds, and they're not doing refunds. You also look at the cost of living now, which I guess it sounds like a broken record because we've been saying that for what, since the beginning of COVID. Now that COVID's over, what excuse do we have, right? Well, it's getting worse. Pandemonium tickets are, I think, $150, $170. They're around the $200 mark, somewhere like that. But if you want VIP, it's like $700. But then you add in the extra cost, which is like the security price of the tickets, because you got to pay admin fees and whatever else. And then you got to pay for, like, do you want the refund version or non-refund version? And then you got to pay for, you know, make sure you have enough money to buy food throughout the day. You got to make sure you have enough money to get to and from location, because the Gold Coast at Broadwaters, It's a great location, but it's also a bit to get there. Whereas though their original location was up near the Spit. And did anybody follow the news a couple of weeks ago where they had like Fred again performing and nobody could get home from the Spit because that turned into a monstrous nightmare? So logistically, locations are another issue. If you cannot get to that location, your audiences are fucked. Straight up, like they will just be like, no, what? And then you look at cost of hotels and they bump up their prices to an insane amount. Yes, audiences want their cake and eating it too. I would love for every single overseas artist to come to Australia, but they're not. So like I said, 2 plane trips, depending where they're coming from, upwards of 20 hours, which no normal person wants to spend more than a few hours on a plane. I don't know about you, but me on a plane for longer than 2 hours is needing me to get the hell out. I would rather skydive than stay on a plane for longer than 2 hours. Just saying, like, that's just my opinion. And I get they probably have their private planes, but whatever. The cost of living is insane. Your locations, if it's the wrong one. But, like, I think it's an interesting conversation. The artist Weekend, he was supposed to come to Australia last year. He bailed. It's now got official confirmation that he's no longer coming to Australia. Which kind of sucks, because it's like, dude, we want our cake and eating it. I was watching another video who stitched Ben Lee's video, and this guy said that because every festival has their niche, it works for them. But also, Australian market doesn't know how to market to Australian artists. No, that doesn't make sense. Australian music festivals don't know how to market to Australia. That sounds better. We also don't know half of our Australian artists. I can list you every single artist, overseas artist, and I can probably name you one Australian artist, and that's Barker, purely because she's incredible. But, like, we are also not supporting ourselves. Splendor was full of mostly Australian acts. They got cancelled. I think one of the things that Splendor got screwed over with, and I think this is another thing that comes into logistics and location, is Australia has very bad outdoor weather. But most music venues, specifically ones that need to fit over 20,000 people, are outdoors. So, again, location-wise, I don't know, like, I can see what Ben Lee's trying to say, but I also feel like as someone who's worked music festivals for the past year and loves them and wants her cake and eating it too, there is definitely a discussion to be had on the way that music festivals in Australia are held, and the way that we want our cake and eating it, the way that we want those big names to come in it, because those are the draw cards. I mean, this year Knotfest didn't deliver what they promised, because everyone was like, last year we had Slipknot, this year we don't. So, like, your draw card needs to come in, and if your draw card isn't coming in, then what's the point of us going, right?